Peace, power, prosperity. Peace, power, prosperity. It's your brother, Yafael Balagoon, street reporter. Street reporter. With you one more time. With you one more time. Uh, just a couple of things I want to kind of discuss. I hear a lot of folks talking about the 2A African American community, the 2A African American community, that sort of thing. And a lot of times, the 2A African American community can be somewhat confusing in a sense that they can be pro police a lot of times they'll be pro police. Uh, they'll support uh, police associations. Uh, they'll support this kind of thing. I think that those types of individuals should probably just join strictly organizations that are really focused on just weapons and guns. And I say that because I helped create the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, Gorilla Mainframe, groups like that, which we take advantage of the 2A situation, obviously, but at the same time, we kind of have a revolutionary mindset, a revolutionary thought process politically. Like these are political organizations. I've expressed it oftentimes to many different folks that Gorilla Mainframe itself, when it had been active in an above ground apparatus, that it was a political organization. But we used the 2A, we used that as a political tool to organize the masses of people. We use it as a political tool. And so that's strictly my perspective on the whole 2A thing. And I know a lot of 2A folks right now, because it looks good. Well, as far as revolutionary groups, I should say, a lot of revolutionary, so-called revolutionary groups, organizations, community organizations, etc. They use that 2A component within their organization. A lot of times, really, that's all that they do. They don't have a power base that they're organizing in. They don't have a community that recognizes them. The only thing that they do is walk down the street with a gun. And I propose this question: what's the difference between what they doing and what the police is doing? What's the difference between what they doing and what the right wing 3%er, whatever, is doing? I propose a question: are some of those folks, and I'm talking about black folks within the 2A organization, are some of those folks 3%ers? Are some of those folks supporters of the Patriotic Front and a lot of these white nationalist organizations that's out here right now, that's being propped up by this current administration under Donald Trump and other folks? Who are these people? Do we know where they come from? I know a lot of them have a police background. Some of them have military background, or at least just got out the military. But their mindset and allegiance is not for the same thing that I would say that a Huey P. Newton would be aligned with, or a Chairman Fred Hampton would be aligned with, or a Geronimo Pratt would be aligned with. A lot of those folks are strictly not revolutionaries. And so that's why I challenge these current organizations that's out there, even the ones that I initiated and started and helped, direct. Now I'm gonna tell you, when I was a part of, you can look at it initially, it was a political thing, and that's more so what I brought to the table was a political component to those organizations. We were political before we was 2A. We were political before we was 2A. Understand that. Understand that. Which means that we realized that we were black people, that we were black men, black women, black family. We realized what our position was, not only here in the United States of America, but as it relates to the rest of the world. That what our position was. First and foremost, we were community organizers. We come from an organizing tradition. We come from an organizing tradition, okay, which means that we are very concerned about the condition, the position of our neighbors next door, which means that uh, if our neighbors need something, we're there to assist them, our next door neighbors, our community, which means that if there's a must or a need to, we're willing to patrol our community so that we can control the politics of our community. Guerrilla Mainframe, again, as I stated, was above ground a political organization. Initially, I can tell you, at least from 2014 to 2016, the Huey P. Newton Gun Club was a political organization. Now, I can't speak for it now, I'm sure in some ways, but I can tell you the start, it was political. So I only say that to say that I know there's a lot of 2A Second Amendment guys that's out here that's joining these types of organizations, a lot of these gun clubs, a lot of these organizations, etc., that really have a revolutionary origin. However, they're not necessarily living up to the principle of what they say that they're about because it's a contradiction. So I'm going to say this, and this is just my opinion. 2A guys, just guys that focus on Second Amendment, don't have any experience in organizing, and don't care to know about that side of it. Just go ahead and join a regular African American gun club, and that's what you do. Just join that type of group. Okay, that's my recommendation. That's my recommendation as far as that. And I really kind of want to talk about that, and I'm glad that I had an opportunity to really do so. The second thing I wanted to mention or talk about what's going on in California. What's going on in California? I'm going to tell you without a shadow of a doubt that I believe that the indigenous people in this country do have an absolute right to seek self determination. I'm in no position to attempt to try to define that for them. I'm in no position to try to define that for them. Okay, I'm saying that they have an absolute right to do so, no matter who is standing before them, who is blocking before them. I don't care if it's the LAPD. I don't care if it's the National Guard. I don't care Donald Trump. I don't care who it is. The people in California, in particular, I'm speaking specific to the brown people of California, New Mexico, and Arizona, have an absolute right to organize themselves and to seek self determination. And it doesn't matter who is in their way. In fact, I'm going to go a step further and say that I'm proud of those people for taking that particular stance. I said I'm proud of those people for taking that particular stance, to stand against tyranny, to stand against extremism, to stand against this desire to make America the way it was 75 years ago. I'm glad that people are doing that, particularly brown people, because I can tell you that for us as black folks, African Americans, Africans, Moors, Hebrew Israelites, however you want to identify yourself as, we have done that time and time again. We have done it time and time again. We, matter of fact, because of our position in this country, because we built this country, because we have been probably more so targeted than any other individual group in this country and built this country from the back, and that's not even an argument. With our blood, sweat, and tears, we have allowed others to more so participate in our movements off our blood, and they have benefited from it. So I'm glad to see others willing to show that they have blood to bleed, because there's definitely some blood to bleed, and this with that that's progress. I guarantee you, what'll come out of this is progress. Absolutely, that people will have an absolute ability to live the life in which they desire to live without the threat of being detained, without the threat of being arrested, without the threat of being separated from their families. I'm here to tell you that this particular land in this country is their land. It's their land. So who are we or who are you, particularly to try to define what they absolutely have the right to do? I saw one person say, why don't they follow the law? I heard one comment to say, won't they follow the law? And then speaking in reference to the protesters or demonstrators in California about following the law. And my answer to that is, well, they was following the law when they was capturing and imprisoning runaway slaves. They were following the law then. So it goes to show what type of contradiction and corruption that can exist in situations like this. So I didn't mention it initially, but what I would like for you to do is like, share, subscribe to my channel. Like, share, subscribe, or if you just see a video, share this. Share this if you can. It's the message towards the two-way. Hey, let's get the two-way guys. Guys that want to be police. Guys that want to be sheriffs. Guys that want to be, you know, pro whatever it is that they want to be. Uh, Let them do that in their own groups. Stop letting these folks join your organizations. Your organizations that was named after principal guys. I can tell you right now, when I started the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, wasn't none of that kind of stuff going on. Wasn't no police that I knew about or anybody that sympathized with a police officer in my particular group, organization, etc. If you want to do that, then go join another group. There is another group where you can sympathize or empathize with those folks that you want to do it. Don't do it over here because it's a contradiction. And I want to tell you that this current generation, we have to expose these contradictions and stop living the contradiction. If you want to be a revolutionary, then live a life as a revolutionary person, meaning that you have some type of moral value about yourself, meaning that you're willing to take care of your family first and foremost, your households first and foremost, your children, your wife or husband, etc. These things you have to check out first and foremost, and then the community. This is how you live that life. Uh, but outside of that, like, share, subscribe to my channel. It's been an absolute pleasure. This is Yafael Balagoon, street reporter, just checking in with you. I just want to talk about the two-way groups and the brown folks in California. I got absolute solidarity with the brown folks in California. I got absolute solidarity with the brown folks in California. I hope they drive. I hope they drive ICE out of Los Angeles. I said I hope they drive ICE out of Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? So we can drive ICE out of Dallas, Texas. So we can drive ICE out of DC. So we can drive ICE out of Philadelphia, so we can drive ICE out of Miami, so we can drive ICE out of Jacksonville, so that we can drive ICE out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. It's been an absolute pleasure. Yafael Balagoon, street reporter, peace, power, and prosperity. If you see this on YouTube, like, subscribe to my channel. Share this for me. Peace.